Hi family, I'm Stephanie Wade. I am Habasia, helping your brothers and sisters in Africa. I'm coming to you today to just say it's a wonderful day to be alive, and I'm enjoying it. I'm living my life still. What? Like it's golden, y'all. I am so happy Jill Scott made that song. It's like a theme song in my life. But anyway, guys, how y'all like my hat? It's from Cameroon. It's T-Car. It's like one of the hats you wear when you come back from battle and you won. Celebration hat. It's worn by both males and females. And I bought it when I went to Cameroon. So anyways, this head cover, this scarf, I did that. It's a silk. So it's a silk scarf, and it's like used with paper that you just actually put the paper on the scarf and wet it, and it stains it, and then you just let it sit for so long, and then you iron it to like make it set, and then you wash it, and then after it dries, you put it in the dryer, and when you're done, it's permanently looking kind of like Mardi Gras colors, you know? It's Mardi Gras colors. Very festive. I took it, the class at Galveston Art League, and they actually taught us how to do it. Had all of the supplies for us to learn how to do it. So anyways, that's one of the fun things I did. No, it's not silk screen. It's actually done with paper that's wet and put on a silk scarf. But anyways, I'll let y'all know that part. I'll show y'all what else I have. It's not that much today, you know. It's a necklace that I got in Ghana. I actually wore it when I walked with the Chiefs. It was only one of many bling bling necklaces that I wore at Safo Hen Akua Mansa. You know, and a Safo Hen is a female chief, Akua, somebody born on Wednesday, and Mansa, after one of the ancestors of the person that gave me that name. Ancestor that they held in high regard. So it was an honor for them to give me that name. So anyway, guys, let you see the rest of it. Like I said, it's not that much, but I know y'all like show and tell. At least some of y'all. See, it's just the necklace. And Ghana is known for their beads. So that's that. And I bought this shirt in Houston, part of Cooperative Economics. This is the little logo. It's hard to read it right now, though. In the back. I hope y'all can see it okay. I hope so, because I can't see the back myself. So hopefully y'all saw that. And y'all know this jacket was at Shop in Africa when I was living in Houston, Texas a long time ago. It's part of a set, which is a jacket and pants. But I wear the jacket a lot by itself because I just like it, y'all. But anyway, now that part is done. It's a little cool, so I'm wearing my jacket. Trying to let y'all see some of what I see. Y'all know I like sharing. My hibiscus, it's just like blooming. I gave it a little water the other day, and it just fully bloomed. So I said it could be in the background. So trying my best to let it be in the background, but it's hard when you're moving about. So I'm trying my best to do that. I was looking at a video this morning on YouTube, because yeah, I do watch YouTube also. I have a few of the YouTubers that I watch their channel. And anyway, the guy was on there as a guest, was a Ifa priest. I won't use his name because all it did was just stimulate some of my memories of growing up Catholic in my family. Because I'm not going to say in America or whatever, but growing up Catholic in my family and having all these African retentions and all of the similarities in Catholicism that easily rolled over into voodoo, as you could say, or Ifa, as they say now, spiritual expression. And I always thought it fascinating, even researching voodoo, because I said, when our ancestors came here, number one, they didn't want them speaking their language. So what did they do? The griotists start naming their children their surnames, like Cora, even if after a while they didn't know why they did it. But they did it. You know, that's the main part, that they did do it. I'm just trying to obstruct some of the view that's distracting y'all. But anyway, the griotists, or the storytellers, was so in tune that they used their family surnames to name the girls, to have that connection with the motherland, that one day that name could bring their descendant back to the motherland, or the descendant of someone. Let's just say their spiritual descendant back to the motherland. And even though my grandmother and my mother thought we weren't Africans, we was Indians, I don't know what kind, just Indians, and my mother saying, oh, we have white in us. And I'm going, I will not brag on any rapist blood. And of course, I was a teenager when I said that. And they had Stokely Carmichael on, and Malcolm X, and everybody else. And I researched our history, and I knew that's how it happened, at least in my family. But my mother was just so easygoing and laid back that as our only child, I could say lots of things that might have got some people knocked out. I understand that, but what? She was my mother, and we had an understanding. So anyway, it wasn't to insult her. I was just telling her how I felt, and I meant that too. So I would never go around bragging about any rapist that was in my DNA. So anyways, even though they were not connected to the motherland in a conscious way, they still were connected subconsciously with the names of, like Cora, and my grandmother's twin being Corrine. So that was a double memory of Cora, to bring you back to the motherland. They also practice, but not openly practice, going to readers. That's what they called them, readers. And they had these readers that would use cards, and they would use the Bible, and they'd tell you what scriptures to read, stuff like that. And you had to wait in their office like you was going to the doctor. The similarities was that they used the Bible, they went to church that morning, some of them, to Mass, and you had to wait for them until they got out of Mass to come and read for you. Sometimes they used cards to read for you. I can't remember anymore if some of them just used your hand to read. I don't remember. But I remember a lot of the cards that you had to cut it and then shuffle them, and et cetera, et cetera. And they had altars, some of them. But the altars we had was like at my grandmother's house. It was an altar like in the Catholic Church with the Virgin Mary and St. Joseph and Jesus and all that, the bleeding heart. Of course, they were Caucasians because that was from back in the day, y'all. They didn't even have black statues back then. Not when I was growing up. But anyway, guys, that retention lasted into the next generation. When I was younger, they used to take me with them. My mother, my grandmother would take me with them to those readers to wait in the waiting room, just like we was at a doctor's office. And they would take their turn going in, my mother and my grandmother. And I didn't even know what was going on in those rooms because I never went in there with them. Sometimes these people were okay, and sometimes these people was downright crooks. I remember one time my mother was upset because the person looked inside of her purse and actually took the money they wanted out of it. So that one was a criminal, y'all, not the real deal. But anyways, as I became an adult, I also went to these readers. We did not practice Ifa as a spiritual expression. We didn't even know what it was. We didn't know what to call it. We just knew we went to the Geechee man or the reader, you know? So anyway, as a young adult, I would go to Texas City or something, which is not far from Galveston, with my mother, or to Louisiana with her, whatever. And as an adult, then yeah, I got to get my reading too. And then later on, I did it independently, not all the time, but when I felt like I needed some answers that I couldn't figure out on my own. So yeah, it did pass down from what I was brought up with. People do what they know. So anyway, I got an appointment with a reader in New Orleans one time, and this is what I came back with. And this reminded me of the altar that was at my grandmother's house. Only this time, they had black people in them. See, black Jesus. See the little crown and miniature altar. And see the Ghana-like faces. Remind me of Ghanaian brass. There's the Virgin Mary and her baby. It was all at the store, and different deities from Ifa. Sure, some of it is Mami Wata. And I bought it because I was waiting for the lady to do my reading. And she was an eccentric. See all these cowrie shells? She was an eccentric. And even though I came at the right time, she told me, don't rush her. Go looking at New Orleans, enjoy New Orleans, and come back in an hour or two. I was so ticked off with her. It was actually the first and last time I went to her. But yeah, she had a store up front, and that was one of the places that I spent my time in. And I just thought this one said, "By me." So I did, y'all. And I have this as part of my collection in my bedroom. I have all kinds of spiritual expressions that came from the motherland. I have Egyptian things, you know, Egyptian posters. I have an ankh that has Egyptian imprinting on it. I think it's all interconnected. So as it speaks to me, yes, I buy them and I collect them too. Do I practice Ifa on a daily basis? No, I do not. Have I gone to a reader in a long time? No, I have not. I haven't had any need to go anywhere. The answers that I'm looking for have lately been inside of me through my ancestors. That I just feel it, y'all. Somebody asked me about the dolls. Was I doing conversations with my dolls here and in the motherland? Well, I don't. Maybe one day I will. I do have lots of dolls that I plan to use when I would do my good works in the motherland through Habasia, my nonprofit organization, which is at a Mother Teresa level right now. But anyways, I've lately understood that some places they do not believe in having anything that's made that looks like something in this world or in heaven. So I can't use dolls wherever I travel. I only can do that if I'm invited. Because if I'm invited to do the talk and they know I use dolls, that means it's okay to use it with their children or adults. And in the United States, with COVID being so rampant, I'm doing social distancing and I'm at my house, y'all. So I am doing what I can do right now by talking to y'all and letting y'all see my dolls. And if y'all think I've been of any help to you, just share this, y'all. And if y'all have not subscribed, please do. It's free, y'all. What you waiting on? Well, anyway, y'all, this is my doll. Her name is Stephanie. That is what her original creator called her. She is a porcelain baby, and she is one of my porcelain babies that I made myself. I took doll classes a long time ago in Texas. It was in a little town, maybe Baytown. I can't remember the name of the little town anymore. But it wasn't that far from Houston, Texas, when I was living in Missouri City. And I learned how to make the doll. The only thing I didn't do is the eyebrows, because my teacher was such an eccentric and she liked everything perfect. So she'll wipe off my eyebrows and do them herself. I didn't mind, because I did want my doll to look perfect. But yes, all of her is because I made her, other than her eyebrows. But I did, you know, put her little wig on and everything. I made her necklace, and I just bought baby jewelry and cut it down to size for her. I actually made her clothes, y'all. I was so artsy craftsy that I made her clothes. I can't remember now if it had a little pattern or not. If it did, it was like a little baby pattern, you know. And you see her little hands. See the inside of her hand? It's different color than the outside, because I told my teacher, who was a Caucasian, that black people hands are different inside than the outside. And she like, you know, I never noticed. And so we worked together, and that was her first time helping somebody do a different inside than outside hand on a black doll. See, she's very accurate. I even painted the creases in her hand. And that little dress, like I said, I made it. Her little bracelet is adjusted to her. Over the years, of course, it stretches because it's just elastic. And that's her little pinafore. I just put her on new shoes because somehow she lost her shoes. I don't know how, y'all. She lost one, a shoe and a sock. And see her little feet, all those creases were made. And see her little toes, all that little pinkishness. It took, I don't know how many steps. See her little feet? Different than the outside. ever so subtle, like us. And this is just baby shoes, y'all, because I didn't want her to just be barefooted while she was being presented to you guys. But anyway, my Stephanie doll. And I gave her to my mama, who gave me plenty headaches about this doll, because she didn't understand that this doll is porcelain and that she's glass, even though she looks plastic. And my mama would sit this doll on her bar on the edge, and at any moment that doll could have fell and broke into many little pieces, and I would have been crying, because it took so many hours to create her and so many steps to create her. She even has earrings, y'all. Earrings. And she has holes in her ears. You could see the little holes in her ears. They are pierced. But over time, earrings do fall off, so I'll have to put her some more. But yeah, my Stephanie doll. Named before I even knew she existed. Her creator named her Stephanie, and I gave her to my mama. Because my mama only had one child, so I'm like, I know she's lonely sometimes. Let me give her my Stephanie doll. So she always have a Stephanie around. She was always talking about me when I was a baby or a toddler. So it's like, here you go. You have grandchildren. Enjoy them. Okay, y'all. This is like one of my first dolls I did also. She's porcelain. You see her little makeup, her little subtle makeup, and her little earrings. Because I figured if I had earrings, my dolls would have earrings. And see her makeup. I actually did most of the makeup, except, you know, I didn't do the eyebrows. She used to have eyelashes, but over time, eyelashes come off dolls just like people, and I didn't replace it. And her hairstyle is what I did to it. Her braids, or because I used to wear my hair like that when I had long hair, and little ornaments on her hair. I was just making her pretty much like what I wore for myself. And she just has a little wrapper on. I figured that would be an easy outfit. She used to have another dress that was a wrapper, and I just changed it up some because I like this fabric, y'all. And see, she has her little bracelet on her ankle, and her little feet are also carved handwork. Her little feet, little different color than the outside also. And her necklace is handmade. The first one was similar to the Stephanie doll with the baby jewelry that I customized to be her size. And then this one is a bracelet that was, I don't remember if the bracelet was too small for me or what, but I did make this in a 50+ program. And I figured it would make a good necklace for her, even though it's a bracelet. But yeah, it's a handmade bracelet that I made in the 50+ program. And it's very pretty. Has a nice clasp on it and everything. I don't know if y'all can see it very well, but yes, I did make this bracelet. And I didn't want it to go to waste. And I said it would be noticeable as a beautiful necklace on her. So she's all dressed up with a necklace that was a bracelet for me, but probably too small for me to wear it. Sometimes you just don't measure right. This mask is from Cameroon. One of my roommates got it as a gift from one of the vendors in Cameroon. And when she was leaving, she didn't want it. So she was gonna just leave it on the bed. And I traveled with just one suitcase because they told us travel light. So you could bring one suitcase to donate over there. So on the way back, I bought what they call Ghana Must Go bag, which was a soft bag for my extra stuff that I bought over there. And so I put this inside of it. And it made it back to the United States with me. So I didn't pay anything for it. She was just gonna leave it on the bed for the housekeeper, who probably wouldn't appreciate it or couldn't even have it at her house. So I took it. I said, "Do you mind if I take it?" And she said, "No, I was gonna give it away anyway." So I got it for free, y'all. And it is T-Car origin. Didn't have to pay a dime for it. This is one of my souvenirs, say Souvenir de Cameroon. And I just bought it from one of the vendors at one of the shops in Cameroon. I just think collecting things through cooperative economics is a pretty cool thing to do. It's a win-win situation. And you know, I am so happy that my African retention survived Christianity / Catholicism. I'm so glad it survived colonization and enslavement, that I could appreciate somebody creating their art, even if they didn't really appreciate their art, that they're doing it as a tourist thing to sell. I can appreciate all that, y'all. I can. And I don't know, this bracelet is one of the things from when I walk with the chiefs too. And it just tied. You just take the you just take the stones. You just take the little beads and put the string in it and tie it on a person's arm. I have two of them. One just is tighter than the other one because over time stuff stretches. But anyways, I am so happy that our ancestors were strong enough to last through the Ma'afa and colonization, and that we could feel drawn to something even though we was raised in a different way, that we were raised to think that anything from Africa was not a good thing, or that it was evil. I get sick and tired of hearing people say negative stuff about their own cultures or about cultures of other people. Me, I respect my ancestors, because before we were enslaved, we were free, y'all, free to practice whatever we wanted. And whatever we wanted survived through hundreds of years of enslavement. So it must have mattered a lot, because they could have been murdered for practicing what they believed in. You know, they could have been beaten to death, hung, and tortured, but they did it anyway. So I'm just so proud of my ancestors for hanging in there. And I know it wasn't just my ancestors, because all over the world you can research, and it survived. It's an African retention that survived for 300-400 years, y'all, and it is still practiced today by lots of people. Like I said, no, I am not a practicing person that practices Ifa. My family that I know of did not practice it in the United States. They were consumers of it. So if they had problems, that's why I say when I saw that video on YouTube today, that it motivated me to know that my family wasn't the only family who were consumers, that they go to the Ifa priest or priestess when they had a problem that they wanted solved. And after they got the problem solved, or the prescription, that they would go home and go right back to their church to Mass and pray their novenas or their rosaries. So they was living a dual lifestyle because they was brainwashed that it was evil. And so they was in the closet, so to speak, for their spirituality. And today, I'm out of the closet for letting y'all know I'm a spiritual person. And yeah, I did grow up with us being consumers of voodoo or Ifa or whatever. And no, it was not evil. We didn't do anything to hurt anybody. It was all about prayers, actually. Like I said, most of the people would send you to the Bible to read this scripture or that scripture, or you might burn some candles and incense. And guys, we did that in Catholic Church. We burned candles all the time. The priest used incense, you know, in the church. He used holy water. They gave us holy water. I mean, there was so many similarities that it was an easy thing to keep doing. But anyway, nobody did anything to hurt anything. The only time I saw anything different was when I traveled abroad. And I'm telling you, for whatever happened, it was pretty much nothing different than happened when you go to Kentucky Fried Chicken, or you yourself go to the grocery store and buy a chicken. It's like, if a chicken dies, it dies. My grandmother used to kill chickens in the backyard because she raised chickens. And so the poor chicken had to die for us to eat. And most times you don't even think about it, you know? So if somebody uses a chicken or whatever in one of their rituals, it's like, if we eat any animal's flesh at all, even a fish, something has to die for us to eat it. It doesn't just hocus pocus, you got fried chicken, or hocus pocus, you have fish and chips. Something dies for us to eat it. I mean, unless you just eat vegetables, raw vegetables. And some people even say their vegetables got feelings. So, I don't know, y'all. But anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this story time. I was just sharing, growing up Catholic and practicing the spiritual expression. Maybe people call it going to a Geechee person, or reader, or somebody that practiced Ifa or voodoo, so we could get help that we needed. And even though it was in the closet, lots of people did it. And yes, they still left from there and what? Attended Mass or whatever. Even the practitioner themselves might have just left Mass, Catholic Mass, before they practiced whatever they did. It's only through brainwashing that'll make you shame of what your ancestors were. before they were indoctrinated into the belief system of what? Their oppressors. So we're suffering from Stockholm syndrome, that we're identifying with the religion of our oppressors who enslaved us, raped us, tortured us, etc., etc. I'm telling you, after 300-400 years, the brainwashing is real, that you would think of something that your ancestors practiced before they were enslaved was bad, but none of them ever hurt you, and that you could believe in something that was forced on your ancestors by any means necessary to control them. I am not judging anybody for believe whatever they believe. All I'm doing, y'all, is sharing my story of how I grew up and how my family practiced going to readers or seers or whatever. And I do not need no negative comments on who's going to hell or whatever, because ain't nobody died and came back and told me nothing. And nobody knows. Nobody knows. It's all what you've been indoctrinated to believe. So as I always say, you're all free to believe whatever you believe. That's fine. But I'm just telling y'all what happened in my life. And that's that. Without judgments, it's just what happened. It's just my story, y'all. And I pray that I continue to be able to tell y'all my story and not just be a gossip of what somebody else said. Like I said, yes, I did watch that video of this Ephod priest, but I didn't talk about what he said, not at all, other than him talking about some people coming that only come when they have problems, but they don't practice. Because I said, yeah, my family was one of those families. And so I came to share with y'all that they did. And if any of you had that same experience, hey, y'all can share that with me. It's okay. It's no judgments here. It was what it was. It is what it is. And it's no reason for anybody to be ashamed of what happened in their family or in their belief systems. It's African retentions, y'all. And we are Africans. Even after all these hundreds of years of not being in Africa, we are still Africans. And even in the motherland, some of the Africans are so controlled by their oppressors that they also practice only the religions of their oppressors and see the religions of their ancestors as evil also. No judgments either way, y'all. I'm just describing what happened in my family and what I did during my lifetime. I'm not going to even say as just a young person. No, just during my lifetime. During my lifetime. I'm not going to say I'm not going to ever have anybody read for me again or burn a candle or burn incense, because I got incense right now, y'all. I got candles right now. Has nothing to do with spirituality. I like to burn the candles because they smell good, and I like the incense. And yeah, I have Catholic retentions too, because yeah, I still pray to the Most High. And yeah, I like the smell of the incense when I pray. So anyway, I'm not here to proselytize nobody. I'm just sharing my story. I'm a spiritual person, and I feel like I am a spiritual being having a human experience. I'm enjoying my life day by day. I know life is not promised to anyone. I'm blessed for today. I agape love each and every one of you. And until next time, if you have any comments, please put them down below. I will answer you in the comments, or I will make a video in response to your comment. I prefer not for y'all to want to talk to me on the phone, because I'm only one me, y'all, and I cannot respond to everyone. And I don't want y'all to think that I'm just playing favorites either. I talk on the phone to my family, my friends already know, but one person cannot be on the phone with thousands of people or hundreds of people. I'm doing this for free, y'all. And when I'm even get monetized, I will use the money majority to do good works, because that is what I do. It's part of my essence to help other people, whether the people are in my family or they're my in-laws or they're total strangers. It's as I'm so moved by my ancestors that live in me and in my DNA, y'all. So anyways, until next time, peace, peace, power to the people, and I'm out, y'all. Bye.